Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Bud Brown living in Campo, California. If you watched my last video, you'll know that my wife had to go to the hospital. But there's one thing that I had failed to mention that I believe is very, very important. I wish someone had told me this before it happened. But the first night we were there, we usually go to sleep about 9:30 or 10. I noticed that Gloria started acting very, very strange. Her hands were very nervous like this. She would be picking on her clothing like this, her gown. And I said, honey, don't. There's the ones that are familiar with the hospital and procedures. They put the heart monitor. It's like a little cell phone. And then they have wires going to it and sticking, about 5 or 6, sticking to the chest area. She starts to try to pull those off. I said, honey, no, don't. That's a heart monitor. They're monitoring your heart. I don't like it. I don't like it, she says. I'm saying, man, she's acting a little bit more, I don't know, active than normal. And then she's picking around here, and then pretty soon she says, oh no, they're, look at that. I said, what is it? She said, worm. Worm? Yeah, right there, look. I looked, no worm. Oh gosh, I'm starting to get choked up just thinking about it. And then I said, honey, no, that's just your imagination. Oh, look, on the wall, there's a snake. I go, what? Snake? So I walk over to the wall. I said, this? And it was a plug in for I don't know, some machine. And it had the little curly extension cord. Is this what you're talking about? Yeah, well, be careful, it's a snake. I said, honey, it's not a snake. It's just, and I'm saying to myself, oh my gosh, I'm losing my wife. She's losing her mentality. And then she's still going like this. And she has this IV hookup on the back of her hand. She starts touching it. Honey, please don't do that. Don't do that. So I hate to be rough with it, but I said, no. I said, that's gonna come out. The blood's gonna go. In my mind, of course, what do I know? But I imagine her pulling that out, and just like a jugular vein or artery, that blood's going to start squirting out all over the place. This is what was in my mind. So I said, no, don't touch that. Please, don't touch that. She said, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want it there. And I said, oh, what's going on here? What's happening to my wife? And I almost started crying. I wanted to call the nurse or something. I mean, there's an emergency nurse button on the bed or nearby if there's an emergency. And I said, honey, just go to sleep. I look up, it's like midnight, right? I said, just go to sleep. And she's up, she's wiggling around, she's really active. And I said, honey, please just go to sleep. We'll wake up in the morning, things will be better. No, I don't like this. I don't want this. She grabs her IV and she pulls it out. Oh, I said to myself, oh, no. Fortunately, and if anybody's familiar with this, you probably knew this already. Blood didn't come squirting out all over the place. It was just like she had a little sore there. And I grabbed a towel and I put over it, but there really wasn't a lot of blood coming out. But at that time, I did push the emergency nurse button. I said, she's pulled out the IV. I don't know what you call it, the IV connection place. And she said, oh, okay, well, in the morning, we'll put another. By the way, it wasn't connected to the IV bag at all. It was just the connection place, but there was no tube or anything connected to it. So the nurse says, "Okay, we'll be here in the morning," and put another one in somewhere else, her arm or someplace. And then Gloria starts leaving, and she starts pushing on the side of the bed. On these hospital beds, they have rails that pull up, and and pull down, pull up, so the patient doesn't roll off the bed. She's kicking it with her feet. I'm saying, what happened to my wife? What? She's going nuts. And I'm thinking, oh man, this is horrible. And then I look up at the clock, 2 o'clock, and then I said, honey, please, just lay down. Let's just go to sleep and everything will be right in the morning. No, I don't like this. I don't want this. And I said, ah, and I said to myself, are they going to have to come in and tie her arms to the bed? Oh, I don't know if I could stand that. So, any, while as the night went on, I didn't care. I saw the time, the hours go by, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 or 5, 6 o'clock. And we hadn't slept a wink because she's just so nervous and she's pushing and oh. So, by the way, I'm going to tell you the reason for this, and there is a good logical reason. But the nurses come in. I said, I don't know what's the matter with my wife. This is not her. This is not her personality. And they told me, they said, Mr. Brown, it's the UTI medication. So UTI is a urinary tract infection, which I didn't know she had. But evidently she has this urinary tract infection, UTI. And at the time, I thought it was a medication that was causing her to go bonkers. One time she said, look, oh, look, little puppy. And I said, puppy, where? Right there, right there. And I go over, she was pointing to my backpack. I never felt so horrible in my whole life, thinking that my wife has lost her mind. And so they came in and they said, we're going to have, from now on, we'll have a sitter here. That's what they call it, a sitter. Someone who comes and just observes, because there's no way I'm going to go to sleep, with her in that condition. And she said, you can sleep here. They had a nice, looked like a lazy boy, and it was pretty comfortable. So for the next 4 nights, she had a sitter, but no more of that crazy activity. But so the reason that I'm giving this video is to tell you that it's not unusual. And I found an article talking about the and then when the doctor came, actually it was a psychiatrist that came in, and I said, "What's going on with my wife?" He said, "I said people are telling me it's the medication." He said, "No, it's not the medication. It's the infection itself. It's a UTI infection that's causing her to, especially older people and especially women." They said because uh, an older person, I mean, they're used to being in a same place, familiar surroundings, but when they get into an unfamiliar surrounding, like a hospital, and everything is different, somehow the mind, especially with this infection, it causes, they call it delusions, and I call it hallucination. I guess the same thing. But they have hallucinations. They're antsy. Well, I'll put up what the article says about it so you can read for yourself. Can a UTI cause strange behavior? Sudden changes in behaviors and an increase in symptoms may indicate that your loved one has UTI. Behavior changes and causes that seem to affect one's personality may include sleeping issues, anxiety, depression, confusion, aggression, delusions, hallucinations, and paranoia. You can Google UTI delusions. It was horrible, 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 and it just made me so empathetic for those that have a loved one that has dementia or Alzheimer's. Oh, I'm so sorry. I give my greatest sympathy and empathy and condolences to your situation. I just had a little taste of what it was like to live with someone who has cognitive decline and dementia. And maybe one day it will be me or it will be my wife. And by the way, Gloria is back to her usual frisky self, I'm glad to say. And it was just really that one night that 24 hours was the worst night of my whole life. But all's well that ends well. And so I want to say that two things. One, so you'll be aware of this, and two, that I'm understanding more and more what it's like to have a partner, a loved one, friend, or family that that suffers from dementia or Alzheimer's disease, which I guess is a form of dementia. So anyway, we're good now. Gloria's on the road to recovery, and I'll see if I can. I'm down in the trailer now. See if I can go up there in the big house and get her to say hey. All right, everybody, take care. Hey, everybody. Look who's with me. Ate Glow. So, honey, I was just telling them that you were seeing things in hospital.
I am.
How you feel now?
I feel a little bit better.
Okay. So, do you know where you are?
Yeah, I'm home with my kid.
Reason I said that, everybody, because when they asked her before, she said, "Now I don't know where I'm at," when she was in the hospital. So she knows where she's at now. Home with family.
Yeah, with the kid, with
Yep.
my kid.
Yep. So everything's looking up, and thanks for coming by. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.